Just look at that. It's completely overgrown. I was so proud when it was cool outside. But I have cleaned some of it up. I ripped out all these weeds and Johnson grass down these 2 rows of black-eyed peas today, and alongside these peppers and Roma tomatoes right here. And there's onions between these 2 rows of black-eyed peas, and they should be ready for me to dig up. They look like they were when I was pulling weeds. But I am some tore up. And it's hot, even though there's a nice breeze out today. Got a lot of tomatoes. A lot of them have, it's not blossom end rot, they got holes in them. Something's eating them. But I got what looks like a couple of heads of cabbage ready. These 2 rows of black-eyed peas I'll have to clean up next week or later in the week. But they're all starting to put out. So, I mean, I'll have peas, black-eyed peas in just a few days, because they've got them on there right now. And the tomatoes are just full. 67 tomato plants. I think there's a lot of these onions that I planted that are just so overgrown, it'll be hard for me to ever harvest. But there's other stuff that, just like every year, and some years it gets worse than others. This is not particularly bad. There's always one area that goes to shit. But I mean, I've already harvested all those English peas. They're dead. And the lettuce was so hard to keep between here and Dallas, and getting it put up and keeping it fresh, that I let it go to flower. I let it bolt. There's a nice healthy bull nettle right in the middle of that black-eyed pea row. I'll need to clean this one next week too. I'm just too wore out. And I'll pull weeds out here. It's like 101, and do it for 5 or 6 hours, and it just wears you out. But all these cantaloupe are flowering, and I think there's some little melons on some of these. There's those big yellow squash over there. But I did notice today that there's a pumpkin, and that's a little pie pumpkin. This first little part of the row, and this is overgrown. All the corn, I don't know how the corn's going to do, because I haven't gotten in there and cleaned it up yet, and I don't know how much time I want to devote to that. I really don't. I have to make hard choices when it gets like this. Now, this is every year. Every year. Some years it's better than others. Some years I mulch better than others. But at some point, it gets so overgrown that I just have to decide what I really want to focus on and what I can afford to just let go. So I want to can up a lot of black-eyed peas. I want to take care of my peppers and tomatoes, melons and stuff. Yeah, if I can keep up with them, but black-eyed peas and tomatoes and peppers mainly. The corn, I'll get in there and clean it up before next weekend. I'm tired. I'm wore out, and I still haven't picked anything. And I still got to pick blackberries, because there's a shitload of blackberries up front. I could pick kale, although I need to pick it when it's not beat down by the heat. I'm going to pick a couple heads of cabbage at least, I think, before I go back to town. So I'll be here for 2 or 3 more hours. Right now, I'm going to stand around and smoke and water tomatoes and peppers, because everything's looking a little poor.